Hello everyone, welcome back to MindMatrix YouTube channel. I'm Sachin, and in this video we'll be continuing further with our discussion of our solutions of GATE DA sample paper. Okay, in the last video we have already seen 4 questions. Okay, and over here there is no particular sequence we are following, so you can watch out any video randomly for the GATE DA sample paper solutions. Okay, there won't be any prerequisite for these kind of videos that okay, you need to watch out third video, fourth video, second video first. Okay, so we are also going just randomly. Okay, so let's move further. So here is a brief intro about myself. You can just read through that. I have already told you. If you don't know, it's okay. If you know, well, great. Let's move further. So as mentioned in our previous videos and posts, so Anshu sir is going to teach operating system, which is going to be starting today at 7 p.m. on our website. You can just go there and register free. Okay, because this course is going to be free till its end, the operating system I'm talking about. Okay, so go and hurry, register yourself before any delay within sessions, basically before you delay, so that you are all you are attending the sessions from the starting, so that you can get the foundation, from the basics you can just build up your foundation. Okay, so let's move further. So here are our social media channel and group, so you can just scan these QR codes to visit our website, which is www.mindmatrix.net.in. So the first QR code will take you to our website, second will will let you join our Telegram group, and third will let you join our WhatsApp channel. Okay, so we have seen this question already, so I'll just skip these questions whatever we had, and we'll move to the one which we have to solve. Yeah, so from this one we will be starting now. So let's just start solving. Okay, so what is given to me for two events A and B? For two events A and B, B is a subset, and not only a subset, it's a proper subset. Okay, it's a proper subset because there is no this kind of symbol over here, so it's a proper subset. Just remember that it's a proper subset. Okay, that's clear. Which one of the following is correct? Okay, so there are two things, P B given A and P A given B. So if you have been following my probability statistics playlist, then you would have already solved this question and already have got this correct. And because I have solved this question there as well with proper intuition and detail. Okay, so I'll be just talking about that over here as well. Okay, so just think about this. Uh, First of all, let's just see what exactly is this going to be. This is going to be P of A intersection B, because whatever we have, we take the intersection of both, and in the denominator we'll be having P of A. Yes or no? For this one, what we will be having, it will be P of, again, A intersection B divided by P of B. I hope this is already clear. Okay, now just think about this. P is a subset of A, something like this. If I just draw a Venn diagram, it would be something like this. So if this is the A, then this is B. This is B. Okay, so if I take the intersection, A intersection B is nothing but it is going to be B only. It is going to be B only. So what is it going to be? It is going to be P of B by P of A, and this is going to be P of B by P of B, and this is 1. I hope it is already clear. So P of A given B has to be 1. So you know this over here, then that okay, this is false, because P of A given B has to be 1. Okay, now out of these two, let's see this. So we have this expression that P of B will become what? P of B given A into P of A. Okay, now we need to compare this quantity and this quantity. Okay, we need to compare these two terms. Okay, so just think about this. I'm just going to ask you. So let's suppose this is X, and if I just multiply it with some number, let's suppose any number, between 0 and 1, any number between 0 and 1. So in that case, let's say it will become Y. So would you agree if I say Y will be less than equal to X? Just think about this. I have a number x, any number, and if I just multiply it with a number which is between 0 and 1, between 0 and 1, okay, just let's see the example as well. That okay, I had let's suppose 18, and if I just multiply it by 0.1, what do I get? I get 1.8. So 1.8 is less than 18, yes or no? Or if I multiply it, because the limit is 0 to 1, I'm talking about this, the number I can multiply is between 0 and 1. So it can be 0.9 as well, it can be 0.9 as well, it can be 1 as well. So if it is going to be 1, it is going to be 18, the product is going to be 18. So maximum value can be 18 and minimum value can be, if I just multiply it with 0, so it is going to be 0. So that means after multiplication, whatever number I will be getting, that will be less than equal to the original number I am having, yes or no? Just think about this. I had x. If I just multiply x with any number between 0 and 1, I'll get, let's suppose I'm getting y. So definitely y is going to be less than equal to x. If this number is 1, then y will be equal to x. If it is 0, then it will be, this y is equal to 0, then 0 less than equal to x. And if somebody, some number in between like 0.5, so y would be then x by 2 still less than x. That's very simple. I hope it is clear. So what I mean over here is I need to compare these two, and this is a probability measure which is going to be between 0 and 1. So when you are multiplying this quantity with a number between 0 and 1, what you will get? You will definitely be getting a number lesser than that. So this is going to be the expression we are having. So which one is the final answer? This is the final answer. P of B given A is going to be greater than P of B. Okay, just think about this. P of B given A is going to be greater than P of B. Also, you can also think in some other way as well. Like, when we have a conditional probability, we actually reduces our sample space. So now when I am talking about P of B given A, I'm reducing my sample space to the A event. My kind of, like I'm considering A to be the sample space, and out of that, I'm just considering B. So most of the time what happens is when my denominator is decreasing, overall value increases. Yes or no? When my denominator decreases, my overall value increases. And you already know, like, the probability can, this P of B, I'm just talking about this, can also be written like this. Okay, we have already seen this kind of way when we studied probability statistics. In my playlist we have already discussed it. So that is just nothing but size of other set. So if this thing decreases, there is a something happening over here as well. When I'm talking about P of B given A, there is definitely something happening over here as well. But just for an intuition, if I just tell you that okay, my sample space is reducing to A over here, you can just take some intuition over here as well, just for some like for idea. I'm just talking about that. Okay, so I hope this idea is clear. Let's move further. So the answer is A only. A very simple problem. It's like a bacha problem, kid problem we are having over here. Okay, that's why I was telling when I was referring to the pre-resources to prepare for GATE DA exam. You can just refer to these 11th 12th good books, NCRT and RD Sharma, and I guess one more name was RS Agarwal. Yeah, these are some good books that would be sufficient for you to help you in solving these kind of problems. So the value of limit, this thing, okay, just think about this. Like over here I'm having root of x minus root of 2, denominator is x minus 2. So what is the form present over here? If I just put x equals 2, what I will get? I'll get 0 by 0, which is indeterminate form. Okay, so I just need to avoid it. How can I avoid it? So see, I can just change it. I can just change this to root x square minus root 2 square. Yes or no? I can do that. The denominator x can be written as root x square and 2 can be written as root 2 square. Yes or no? I hope you'll be agreeing with me. Okay, so just think about this. Isn't it like a square minus b square? So can't I write it as a minus b into a plus b? Yes, I can do that. So what will this fraction become for me? Root of x minus root of 2. In denominator I will get root of x minus root of 2 into root of x plus root of 2. What will I get? I'll get this. So overall, this fraction will get converted to 1 upon root of x plus root of 2. If I just simply put 2 over here, what will I get? I'll get 1 upon 2 root 2. Yes or no? And that is the answer we are having. That is the answer we are having. I hope this is clear. Okay, I hope this is clear. So let's move on to the next question. Good question from AI subject. Okay, and if I just talk about this is from first order logic as well, which we studied in discrete mathematics. So this is a bit kind of like something fishy is there within this question, but still, as they have mentioned, matches closest. So yeah, we can still work with this question. Okay, let's just talk about this. So first of all, I'll be telling you intuition for why some of the option which I'm going to tell you are wrong, and then which one is the closest, and what can be a good answer, what can be a good, what should be a good answer. Okay, I'll be telling you that as well over here. So just remember this thing: whenever we use these variables are nothing but we are referring to some people over here, because see over here, what is being mentioned? All students are not equal. And for x, for all x, there exists y, for all x, for all y. We are referring to these, and then when we are passing it to this kind of thing, what does it mean? So x or y are some person or anything. They can be anything. That completely depends upon domain we are talking about. Okay, and when I am talking about, let's suppose I'm not going to write student x, I'm just going to write sx. It simply means, it will tell me, if it's true, that means x is a student. If it's false, it means x is not a student. I hope it is clear. Very simple. What did I mention? That x can be anything. And if I say s of x, there will be one of the truth value, true or false. If it's true, that means x is a student. S over here means student. This complete thing I'm just referring to. Okay. Similarly, if y I put over here, s of y is true, that means y is a student. S of y is false, that means y is not a student. Okay. Similarly, I'll just not write equal. Let me just write eq. Eq xy means x and y are equal. If it's true, it means x and y are equal. If it's false, that means x and y are not equal. Okay, this is the kind of function you can consider right now, because there is still a lot more to cover, to talk about these things. So right now, because we can't cover that, so let me just give you in brief that okay, what exactly these things mean. So s, eq are nothing but a kind of function which needs some kind of variable referring to some person, thing, object, anything can be there. And when I just pass it to this function, it is telling me whether it is true or false. So eq xy means whether x and y are equal or not. So if it's true, that means x and y are equal. If it's false, they are not equal. Similarly for sx. Okay, as I refer to student as s over here. Okay, so one more thing over here. So this x variable is being referred through this x. This y variable is being referred through this y variable. What about this x and this y? Just think about this. There is a bracket over here. Can you see this? Can you see this? There is a bracket over here. That means for all x, there exists y. When I'm referring to x and y, it is valid till within this only, because there is this big bracket. So what does this x and y refers to? We don't know. We can still use the same variable name, but we don't know what is it referring to. Similar to what we have in programming language, like if you have coded there that we have some kind of scopes available. Okay, so within for loop, if I have mentioned a variable x, it's not necessary that it will be accessible outside the for loop. Okay, and if outside the loop there is some x, that doesn't mean it is same as what was there within the loop. Okay, I hope you are getting. So this x and this y does not necessarily mean the same x and y over here. So what does this thing refers to? Let me just tell you over here. For all x, there exists y. If x is a student, if y is a student, then I don't know who is X, who is Y, because now I'm referring to this point. I don't know who is X and Y. Then they are not equal. So did I refer to the same X and Y people? No. So that, that way this is wrong. This is also wrong, because we are not referring to the same X and Y for the equality question, because ultimately when I'm talking about any two person, I have to check their equality, after judging whether they were student or not. After judging whether they were student or not, then I have to check for their equality. But over here, because these are just outside this bracket, then this X and Y can mean anything. Just as I mentioned, any object or any person, anything can be there, okay, depending upon domain we are considering. So these two are definitely wrong, because this X and Y are free variable. They are not dependent upon these. These are not referring to these same variable over here. Okay, these are different. Over here, you can see this bracket started and this is ending over here. This bracket started, this is ending over here. That means over here, X and Y are same. That means this X is similar to what we have over here, the same one, and same for this Y. This is same to this Y and over here also. Okay, for C and D option, the brackets are proper. Okay, so A and B are wrong over here for sure. Now let's just talk about which is the closest one. So just tell me a kind of intuition over here. What does this thing mean? All students are not equal. All students are not equal. Does that mean that no one is equal to anyone? No one is equal to anyone, or something like, okay, what should I say? That, okay, if I say, let's suppose 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is different from all, 2 is different from all, 3 is different from all, 4 is different from all. Is it so that everyone is different? All students are not equal. Does this mean that all students are different? No, it doesn't mean that. It simply means all students are not equal means there exist or there are a few students which are not equal. Because of this, we have to say that all students are not equal. At least one some pair exists, at least one such pair exists, because of which we are saying that all students are not equal. If there would have been no such pair which were unequal, we would have said all students are equal. Yes or no? Just think about this. Just think in your mind. Okay, just think in your brain. All students are not equal. Is it so that everyone is different? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. But it definitely means that there exists at least one such pair such that they are unequal. They are different. Yes or no? That is most, that is much closer one to this sentence we are having. Okay. So that means I cannot say that, okay, if X and Y are student, and I'm just talking about everyone. I'm just I'm comparing each and every student. As I mentioned, for all X, for all Y, if X is a student, not if X is a student, Y is a student, and they are not equal. Is it so? No. I'm not saying that, okay, every student is different from every other student. This is wrong. The actually thing was, at least such pair exist, which is unequal, which is different. Okay. So does this mean the same thing? The answer is still no. Okay, but still it is more closer to what statement we are having. Now let's see what does C option tells me. It tells me that for each X there exists some Y. For each X there exists some Y, such that X is a student, Y is also a student, and they are not equal. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Let me just tell you that if one is a student, let's suppose X is this one right now, okay, then for this one there exists some student Y for sure who is different. At least one student exists for him also, that because of which they are unequal. At least one. Now when I talk about X is equal to 2, for this as well there exists some student for sure such that they are not equal. They may be same. For an example, like one was different from 4, but 2 can also be different from 4. Not necessarily that I need to mention some different student like 10th student. Okay, they can be referring to the same student as well. That can also be the possibility, and they can be referring to different student as well for the inequality, for being different. Okay, so what is this thing, this there's a statement telling me, a C statement, that for all X there exists at least one Y such that X is a student, Y is a student, and they are not equal. And they are not equal. That means for each student, there exists some unequal or different student. For each student, there is someone who is different from him. Okay, and he is also a student. So it means like that. So this is somewhat better than all of these options, because this was telling that everyone is different from everyone. D was telling everyone is different from everyone, and A, B were not even in the scope. Okay, just because this bracket stuff. So C is a better answer. What should be the correct answer? If I just tell you that, it should be something like this. All students are not equal. So as I mentioned, it should be something like this. There exists at least one such pair. There exists an X, there exists an Y, okay, such that X is a student and Y is also a student, and they are not equal. And they are not equal. This is the correct answer. This is the correct answer. Okay. And if I would like to change some order over here, if I just just bring out this negation outside, what will it become? Let me just write that as well. So I don't know whether you know that or not, but if I just okay, let me just write this, erase this completely. So here what we are doing is we are doing the complete analysis. You can see, okay, we are not just simply running that, okay, what is correct and what is wrong. We are giving the point for each of the option why each point is wrong. Okay, so let's just talk about that what can be the other answer for this one. Okay, so if I just consider it to be proposition A, let's suppose, and consider this to be B. Okay, so what is this? This is nothing but A and negation of B is written. A and negation of B is written. So can I just do that? I can write it like this as well, I guess. I hope you won't mind that. Okay, this can be written like this. This can be written like this. Okay, when you just negation goes inside, this will become normal A. This or will become and negation will come over here. You already know this rule, no? A, B, and this negation will make it negation of A and negation of B. You know this rule. And similarly, if we have A and B, it will make it negation of A or negation of B, something like this. Okay, so I can write it in this way, and you should know whenever we have this kind of thing, I can write it as A implies B. I can write it as A implies B. So let me just write it what exactly it is going to be. So there exists X, there exists Y, and then okay, negation, let me just put over here. And then what is this? This is Sx and S of Y, which I was considering to be A, implies what? B equal X comma Y. And if I just take further out, what will it become? It will become negation of for all X, for all Y, Sx and Sy implies equal X and Y. Now what does this thing mean? Let's just understand. These two statements are same. What does this statement tell? It tells me at least one such pair exists which are different, which are not equal. At least one such pair of students, X is also student, Y is also student, such that they are not equal. At least one such pair exists. And what does this thing refers to? It means, it simply is telling it is not the case. This statement is false, that every student is same. Every student is equal. Every student is equal to every other student. When I am putting negation over here, what was this thing telling me? What is this thing telling me? This is telling me this the statement what I have written within red part. It is telling me for all X, for all Y, if X and Y are students, then they are equal. It simply means when I am having these, X and Y for all the pairs, you can consider it to be same, different, whatever. Like if you are taking same student or different student, they all are same. This is referring to that they all are same. This complete part is referring to every student is equal. And when I'm saying not, that means it is not the case. This statement is false, that everyone is equal. Every student is equal. I hope you are clear. So this must be the exact answer. But if I still talk about the closest one, this is going to be the C1. Okay, the reason I have already told you. Okay, the reason I have already told you, and why other options were wrong, we have already talked about it. Okay, so let's move further with the next question. What we are having? Let's see. Very simple question over here. Let me just write what exactly this question was. This is 1 plus 2x plus 3x square. People will think I don't know what all they'll think, but this is very simple and direct question. In sample paper, I don't know like why they have put up so many of easy questions. Whether they are going to create really easy paper, or they have just given you a just to what should I say? They have done a prank for the students that okay, these kind of easy questions can be there. Now just tell me, this is the kind of polynomial. Okay, polynomials with some coefficients with each of the x what should I say, x term. Okay, x square, x cube, whatever, we will be having all these. Okay, so always remember, when I'm having a polynomial, that is always continuous. Polynomial is always continuous. Just think about this. You have 1. What is the line for that? Y equals 1 is this. If I say y equals x, so y equals x is this. Y equals x square is this. I'm just telling you for the reference, okay? Y equals x cube is something like this. Okay, something like this. So similarly, I just keep on adding each of these. Would you think that there will be any kind of break, that this will not be continuous? Just imagine. Yeah, this is already a fact that polynomials are continuous functions. Okay, polynomials are continuous functions. If I just just multiply x with some number, would it become discontinuous? No. If I just multiply x square with some number, would it become discontinuous? The answer is no. Similarly for this thing. Okay, and when I add all these, will it become discontinuous? The answer is still no, because then it will be having some combined effect. It will still be continuous. Okay, so this is definitely wrong. Okay, now let's just talk about global minima, maxima. What all can be there? What all can be there? So let's just see. Let me just erase everything now, right now, and let me just talk about this. So fx is for sure is going to be not sorry, it is continuous. It is continuous. Okay, so this option is wrong. If I just talk about the global maxima or minima, just think about this. Okay, what is x square? What is the graph of x square? Or rather I should say ax square. Ax square. What is the graph of ax square? Okay, I'm considering a to be a positive number because each of the coefficients are positive. Okay, what is the graph of y is equal to ax square? Y is equal to ax cube. Y is equal to ax. Y is equal to ax4, something like this. Okay, what is going to be the graph for these? So when you just find out, you'll find when there is a even power, when there is an even power, both the ends of the like for both the ends of x-axis, for the positive and negative, it goes above. It would be something similar to this only. It would just be that it will become something like this. For each high power, this thing will start decreasing. This thing will decrease. This will come closer, because for each change in x, the value will be very high. The value will be very high. Okay, so this will keep on contracting for each of the increase in x value. Okay, so as I'm increasing, the exponent of x, my my graph for the even exponents would be upward only, and my a's are just positive values. So it will be upward only. Okay, and it will be contracting. So there is no relation over here for the contraction, but I'm just explaining you that how my graph will be looking like for even powers. Even for y equals a, this will also be like this, but it would be slightly something like this. Okay, slightly something like this. Sorry, means it will be symmetric. I have it would be just a mirror image of what I have created on the right, something like this. Still have okay, but I guess the idea is clear. But what if I say y equals ax, y equals ax cube, y equals ax 5. What will be happening in that case? So in that case, my graphs, I'm just giving you a good overview. I can tell you the direct answer over here as well. But just to clear everything, I'm just telling you. So let's just talk about now for the even powers. Y equals, okay, y equals ax, and then I'll talk about x cube, x power 5. Okay. So what is ax? Ax is going to be something like, so this is y equals x. If I just say y equals x, so this is passing through origin. And if I say, the a is a positive number, so like the slope will increase. It will go this side. It will go this side. Okay. It will tilt a bit. Okay. So something like this will become, but it will be a straight line for y equals ax. If I say y equals x cube, it will be something like this. Something like this. And if I say x to the power 5, again it will start contracting this side. Okay, because for each increase in x, in each change in x, there will be a big change in y. Okay, so for big powers, it will be very close to this line as well. Okay, close to this line. It will be something like this, because for the odd powers, when I'm putting negative of x, then my y will also be negative. Yes or no? If I just put negative of x, let's suppose -2, then y will also be going to be negative over here as well. But when I talked about even powers, for negative powers also, for negative values of x also, my y was positive, something like this. I hope you are getting this. And my coefficients are also increasing. So just think about this. What I'm going to say right now is that I'm going to have a polynomial which is going to be continuous for sure, and then I'm having a kind of graph, I'm having, which is simply, like the maximum power is this one, 2025, which is an odd number. We have an odd exponent, and highest coefficient also we have for that only. So ultimately, the graph will be, whatever will be the graph, it will be going upward over here and going downward over here for sure. There will be a number of variation possible over here. Okay, I don't know, like there can be a number of variation, something like this can be there. But when I reach some good values, let's suppose x reaches some value of 1000, 2000, something like this, in that case, this power will dominate each of these values over here. And what will it be like? What will be the behavior would be similar to what would have been for simply 2025, x to the power 2025. And we know it's an odd, what should I say, it's an odd function, so it will be something like this. On the right side it will be going upward, and on the left side it will be going downward. I hope you are getting that. For the large value of x, if I just say, it will be my x to the power 2025 will be dominating in that case. Okay, because of which my graph will be something like this. It will be on the positive side, negative side, and some variations within, the smaller part, because of all these things we will be having. Okay, now just tell me, when we have such kind of graph, will there be any global maxima, particularly global maxima? It is just keep on going. It is continuously going. So there is a not fixed point of global maxima or minima over here. We may have a number of, local minimum, local maxima. We definitely can have that. But we will not be having any global minima or global maxima. If you want to say, okay, but I just want to know. So it will be infinite and minus infinite. Okay, but it is still going in that direction. It's not stopping. So there is no global minima, no global maxima. Okay, I hope you have got the idea. If you haven't, just comment down in this video. I'll be telling you what exactly, okay, can be there, what on other statement which I can make. I'll be definitely try to make you understand that. Okay, but I feel like whatever explanations I have given you right now, that will make it clear that okay, this is going to be the correct answer. This was quite clear earlier only, and why we don't have a global maxima or minima is clear, because it's a kind of, like, I'm just talking about this part right now, because for this kind of graph, it will be on the right side, it will be upwards, on the left side, it will be downwards. I'm talking about with respect to the origin. On the right of origin, it will be upwards. On the left of origin, it will be downward only. So there will be no global maxima, no global minima. it will keep on continuing till infinity and minus infinity. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. We are having very simple problem again. For matrix, a simple 2 cross 2 matrix is given. One of the eigenvalue is 5. The other eigenvalue is, there are a number of ways you can solve this. So one is like quite direct. So I guess you know, like the sum of eigenvalues is equal to the trace, and the product of eigenvalues is determinant of a matrix. So you can just, you know, like both ways you can do that. So 9 plus 6 is 15, and the other eigenvalue, when I add 5 to it, it must become 15. So what is the value, other eigenvalue? That's 10. And if I just calculate what? The determinant, it's 9, 6, 54. 54 minus 4, because minus 2 into minus 2 is 2, 4 only, and then negative of that. So 54 minus 4, it's 50. Again, determinant is 50, and product of, you know, 5 and some other eigenvalue must be 50. So what must be the other eigenvalue? 10. Very simple. Need not write anything. Okay, this was such a simple question. Now, so I will end over here only till this question only, and this is again very simple question. So two non-zero vectors x and y are perpendicular if we have non-zero vectors. X and y are non-zero vectors and they are perpendicular. Their dot product must be 0, na? Their dot product. And that can also be written in this way, that okay, because vector, they are basically the column vector. Basically, when we talk about the vectors, they are just, you know, like column wise, we just talk about that. Okay. And when I'm saying that, okay, I want to take a dot product, I would say, let's suppose this was x, let's suppose this was y. Okay, the dot product is multiplying this with this, this with this, this with this, and then adding them all. That is the dot product now. So if I would like to do that, what should I do? I just transpose it, just convert it to a row vector. So what will that be? Vector by default, when we consider, are going to be column vector only. Okay, when we talk about this thing, like within data science and ML part. Okay, though we have the terms like column vector, row vector, and so many things. Okay, but by default, whenever we talk about vector, it's a straight one, vertical one, which is the column vector. Okay, so if I just talk about the dot product, what is going to be? I just mentioned, you just, you know, change it into a row vector and then multiply two matrices. This is also a kind of matrix only, na? If I say that, okay, there was n dimension, if this is n cross 1, this was n cross 1. So just to make sure these can multiply, what can I do? So this is going to be my x transpose, which is 1 cross n, and y is going to be this, which is again n cross 1. So now this can be multiplied, you know, like this will be multiplied by this, second number will be multiplied by second number of this, and then so on. It doesn't really need this kind of, you know, like explanation, because that's very direct question. No need to think much. If you have practiced enough, if you know the linear algebra, you won't be thinking. You just, you know, microsecond, you can just tick, oh, x transpose y equals 0. Such a question this is. Okay, I hope this is clear. So now we will meet in the next video where we will be solving further questions of GATE DA sample paper. Till then, bye bye, take care. Thank you. And if you haven't joined our group yet, you can join by scanning these QR code or visit our website. Okay, so thank you guys. Bye bye, take care.